Hello again. Somebody was asking me the other day, said they were thinking about going out and buying the first electric guitar, and said, well, what should they look for? When you go to the music store, there's just so many guitars on the wall. It's a bit of a minefield. What do you look for? Well, I think the first thing you need to do when you're shopping for your first guitar is, well, look at what your favourite guitarists and your favourite bands, what sort of guitars do they use? You know, how do they look? And use that as your starting point, because chances are you're going to want to play something similar to your favourite guitarist. So if you can go to the music store and see something that looks like the sort of guitar that your favourite guitarists use, you know, that kind of gives you a starting point. Guitars, yeah, they're made out of wood, and it's important that you get a good piece of wood. It's the one part of the guitar you're not going to be able to change or upgrade. You know, you can change pickups and tuning pegs and bridges and so on, but you know, you're kind of stuck with the body and the neck. So you need something which is, you know, it's a good, acoustically good piece of wood. You can fall into the trap of thinking heavier is better, and it's true. If you get a guitar that's made out of something really light, like balsa wood, you know, it's going to be sound rubbish. Something made out of mahogany, much heavier, much denser, it's going to sound a lot better. But you can get some really nice sounding guitars that are made out of lighter woods, like basswood, basswood. And I've seen some and played some guitars that were, you know, absolute ton weight, but it wasn't very good acoustic quality wood for the body. So as all it was heavy, it sounded rubbish. You know, guitars generally be made out of, you know, woods like ash, alder. This is made out of poplar, mahogany, either solid mahogany or mahogany with a maple cap. Maybe some more of the exotic woods like koa or carina, things like that. No wood is better or worse than another. Generally speaking, it's just they have their own acoustic properties and their own sounds. So you just let your ears guide you. Similarly with the neck, you know, if it's made out of maple or it's made out of mahogany, if it's got a rosewood fingerboard or a ebony fingerboard, a maple fingerboard, there's something about the look of it, you know, if the wood's exposed, you know, if it's light or if it's dark. But really it comes down to how it sounds, because if the guitar sounds good acoustically, just not plugged in, if you can play a chord and it sounds good acoustically, then chances are once you get some decent pickups wired in, it's going to sound good when you're plugged in. The guitar's got to resonate. You know, if you play a note and hold the headstock, you should be able to feel that note vibrating right the way through the headstock. You know, the whole thing is like a living, breathing thing. You want, you know, a good acoustic sound before you're thinking about how it sounds when you've got it plugged into an amp. In terms of electrics, yeah, you're gonna want some pickups on an electric guitar. There's different types. There's humbuckers, which have the two coils. They have a fatter sound compared to something like a single coil pickup, which is thinner and brighter, the sort of thing that you see on like a Fender Strat or a Fender Telecaster. Again, there's nothing that says one type of pickup is better. You know, a humbucker isn't better than a single coil necessarily. You know, if you want to play heavy metal, the humbucker is probably the way you're going to want to go. If you want to play really bright, jangly country music, then single coil is probably going to be the way that you want to go, because each pickup has its own type of sound. You know, once you've decided what type of pickup you want, you know, the world's your oyster. There is, you know, you can get cheap pickups that sound rubbish. You can get very expensive pickups costing, you know, hundreds of dollars, that's hand wound and all very carefully selected magnets that will sound much better. Again, just let your ears guide you. You know, get the guitar plugged into an amp, play it, see how it sounds. When you come to, you know, go to the music store and you said, right, that's the guitar I want to try. Get it plugged into an amp. Start off just with a basic clean tone. You might know that in the fullness of time you're going to want distortion pedals and chorus pedals and, you know, reverbs and Lord knows what. They're going to affect the way that the guitar sounds. But when you're picking a guitar off the shelf, you want something that sounds fundamentally good. So just get the guitar, plug it into a, you know, decent quality amp, just on the clean channel. Maybe it's a little bit touch of reverb, but nothing more. No fancy effects, and just see how it sounds. Playing chords, playing scales, all the different positions on the neck, playing the sort of licks that you would normally play. If you're not that experienced, if you're just a beginner, yeah, you pick the guitar up, play it yourself, make sure it feels right in your hands, because there's all sorts of different neck profiles and so on, and weights of guitar. You want something that feels comfortable for you. But if you're not that experienced as a guitarist, take a friend along who can play, and get their opinion, get the opinion of someone who's got a bit more experience playing maybe than you, if you're not too sure what to look for. Something else which I hate about some of the music stores is you go in, you'll pick a guitar off the wall, and the guy from the shop, you'll plug it in and he'll just blaze away, whittle, then hand it to you and say, right, there you go. And it's really intimidating, especially if you're going on a Saturday afternoon, the shop's absolutely packed out. If you've only been playing a few weeks, and sort of think, oh, how am I going to follow that? Don't let the music store intimidate you. You're at the end of the day, you're the one who's going to be spending some money with them. So, just say if you're not too confident about your own playing, take a friend along who maybe can play and can give you some advice. So get the guitar and plug it in, say just with a basic clean sound, see how it sounds. If you then want to know, well, I want to be playing some more, like rock or whatever, yeah, try it on a dirty channel. But just a bit of overdrive on the amp, no fancy effects, because what you're trying to judge is what does the guitar sound like. What else do you look for in the instrument? Well, it's a different pickup combinations. I'm going to do another video sometime soon talking about the different type of pickups and the different sounds. Generally, humbuckers don't have such a bright sound compared to single coils. Pickups towards the bridge sound a bit more trebly, but on the clean channel. Just off the mic on the camera here might not sound so good, but you should be able to hear the difference between with the bridge pickup and so it's more mellow, bassy tone from the neck pickup. How it sounds really is what should guide you. There's nothing that says 2 humbuckers is a better setup than a humbucker, and 2 single coils or 3 single coils or whatever. It's just how it works for you. Something else you might want to think about is what do you want at the bridge? Do you want a fixed bridge, or do you want a tremolo like this, like a whammy bar? And it comes down to what kind of music that you want to play. If you're playing rock and metal, then chances are you might want to consider a tremolo, so you can do all of the type of effects. It's all personal preference. You can get a basic Stratocaster style trem. You can't do such extreme effects with. You can get things like these Floyd Rose trems. They've got locking nuts. You can do some really extreme dive bombs without going out of tune. There's a cost associated with that, so think about what you want. Think about what your budget is. At the end of the day, you're going to be spending some money in a music store, so they should be prepared to let you spend a bit of time trying out 1 or 2 guitars, and finding the one that's right for you, suits you the way you want to play it, and suits your budget. As I keep saying, there's no right or wrong answers about is a particular type of construction better or worse, is a particular type of pickup better or worse. It's all down to how it sounds, how it feels, and it works for you. If you don't like the way a guitar looks or feels, you're not going to be as inspired to play it. So you want something that that works for you. And when you see it in the corner, on the stand or on the rack in the corner, you think, yeah, I want to pick that up when I want to play my guitar. So get some enjoyment out of it. If you've got any specific questions about guitar hardware or whatever, what you want to look for, feel free to drop something in the comments section, or send me a message through through YouTube or Facebook or whatever. I'm quite happy to answer any questions. Okay, so there's a bit of food for thought for you if you're thinking about going out and buying your first guitar. Hope you found that useful, and I'll see you in another video sometime soon. Bye for now.